We are off. Well, good afternoon and hello to Harris and Brazoria and Fort Bend counties and anybody else joining us from all over the state. These RPT town halls have been a great way to communicate with everyone and during this pandemic, especially while in-person meetings have been challenging at best over the last couple of months. I sure appreciate everyone who's had me Zoom into the executive committee meetings and club meetings and fundraisers and the like during this time. And I am so grateful to our SD 17 SREC member Marvin Cleed, Brazoria County Chair Shane Green, Fort Bend County Chair Linda Howell, to each of you for hosting this town hall for SD 17. And I see we've also got Committee Woman Sinclair on the call as well. These town halls have provided excellent opportunities for people who may not be in SD 17 proper or may not have before been able to join in to participate as they see and notice it and jump on. And we're so glad to have you. It is exciting to talk to our grassroots all over the state, but I tell you, I have to say it is especially exciting to be talking with grassroots in the greater Houston area following our state convention town hall we had today just at noon. We are so happy to be well on our way, on our road to the state convention to be held in Houston at the George R. Brown Convention Center, July 16th to the 18th. And the temporary committee meetings will start July 13th and go July 13th through the 15th. Amidst all this talk about changes during the pandemic, we haven't mentioned lately that we are bringing the convention home this year in a special way because the Republican Party of Texas was founded on the banks of the Bayou City just over 150 years ago. So it is a special place to be for our convention. Today on this town hall, we had on the town hall call, we had hundreds of interested grassroots Republicans from all over Texas asking great questions about how to participate, what the lay of the land will be like for July, how we are preparing, how they can become a delegate, and so on. It was really invigorating to share our progress with them and to hear what they had to say. I'm not sure how many of you were able to join on that call at noon, but let me give you a quick recap. So from the very first day of the pandemic, the Republican Party of Texas has stayed laser focused on our business, which is to elect and re-elect Republicans and conduct the business of our party. And my immediate vision for the Republican Party of Texas this year is to win for President Trump and all our Republicans and defeat the Democrats in November. It's what I've dedicated my work as RPT chair for the last 19 months in accomplishing. I am so pleased to report that at the RPT, we are fully focused on winning for President Trump in November and all our Republicans up and down the ballot in Texas. We are working around the clock to ensure that Texas delivers all 38 electoral college votes for President Trump and that we protect and win back our majorities in Texas this year. We need to keep working together to win together in November. I am so grateful for the vision and the foresight we had to begin our march to victory in 2020 immediately following the 2018 election. Had we not spent every day since that election preparing for victory this November, we would be in a very difficult position right now. But because we went to work immediately in November 2018, to prepare for November 2020, we are on the right track to execute our plans despite the worst pandemic in a century. We literally worked our tails off in 2019 to get organized, to strengthen relationships, to build coalitions, to raise money, to upgrade our systems and processes, and keep the party running efficiently. I brought on Victory Director Stacey Hawk nearly 20 months ahead of November 2020 so she could begin to stockpile the cash for the biggest presidential election we have faced in a generation that we all knew was coming this year. I always say you lose 100% of the races you're not in. And that's the reason why I started the candidate recruitment task force led by Hamilton County Chair Kat Parks. Now, because of the hard work of that task force, we have a shot at defeating the activist judge in Dallas County that threw Shelley Luther in jail because she wouldn't apologize to him. His opponent was recruited by the RPT task force. That's just one example of the many races we have a shot at winning this year because of the work we did last year. Republicans in Texas have candidates in over 2,100 races across the state, but Democrats only have nominees in 837. So we have already won 1,300 races. And now we can concentrate on those other 800 and concentrate on beating Democrats. We started winning 2020 by working 2019. We've raised a record amount of funds. We closed out 2019 with $4.4 million, never before. We brought on voter registration and volunteer recruitment back into the DNA of the Republican Party of Texas for the first time in years through our RPT volunteer engagement project. We've already registered over 85,000 new Texas likely Republican voters through the RPT Volunteer Engagement Project, with the help of more than 3,500 volunteers across the state, in spite of the challenges of not being able to do in-person work at locations. We are ceding no turf to the Democrats this election. Please be a part of this exciting voter registration project at the RPT. Help us keep our momentum and in a way that works fine in this time of social distancing. Sign up for 10K for 10R if you have not already. You can do it by texting 10K to the number 72,000 or by going to texasgop.org and filling out the form on the website. Our field effort, our field staff turned on a dime when this coronavirus hit, moving from in-person work to on the phones. Over 200,000 calls were made just last week on behalf of the RPT efforts. Our pace has remained strong and is growing strong. We have been, continue to be, and will not stop being committed to delivering our key electoral college votes for President Trump in November and victories for all our candidates, from the White House to courthouses all over Texas. The other big piece of the business of the Republican Party of Texas is exactly that, party business. And our state convention is leading as an example of how Texas can get back to business while practicing personal responsibility. You may have heard the news that the president and vice president, within an hour or two of each other on Monday, both mentioned Texas as an option if North Carolina doesn't see things through. We've had crazy busy days the last couple of days responding to inquiries about that. And as I said on Fox and Friends yesterday morning, and as we can personally attest, it is not an easy feat to move any convention. So I encourage North Carolina to proceed with hosting our national convention. But if they don't, we have extended the invitation, and we are receiving calls from facilities all around the state and from people who want to help make that a reality. Our delegate protection plan was approved in full by the RNC. Our complete 155 delegate strength, the second largest delegation to the Republican National Convention, is fully intact while we did the changes we had to do. Back on March 21st, some of you on this call and Republican leaders all across Texas, nearly 300 events successfully moved our precinct and senatorial district and county conventions safely. I'm so grateful that this process went smooth against all odds and greatly appreciate everyone joining together to make that happen. We are now coming up on our fourth weekend of county and senatorial district conventions this weekend. It's our fourth because some of the conventions were small enough to be able to go ahead and go through with March 21st. But I've heard good reports from the last couple of weekends from conventions that have been held and attended. And I'm excited about what's going to happen next. Our county chairs and our temporary Senate district convention chairs have demonstrated how to comply with CDC and state and local guidelines and still hold conventions in person. I know Brazoria County has a convention coming up this weekend, and Fort Bend conventions are scheduled for the weekend of June 6th, and a lot of Harris County conventions are on June 13th. I know Harris County Senate District 17 is very close to locking in a location and a date. I appreciate this has been a challenge, and I'm so grateful for the work of Marvin and Shane and Linda and their teams for making this happen. We know in-person conventions are what delegates prefer most and what best protects the full rights for convention delegates. We also know that many Texans want to open Texas and have our conventions in person be the way that we lead by example. For these local conventions, the RPT has suggested finding locations that accommodate 3 times the number of expected attendees, so that social distancing can be implemented. So for example, on May 2nd, we had an SREC meeting. We held it in Weatherford. We had about 70 in attendance. The room was rated for over 400. So we had plenty of space to space out. We suggest you do the same to the extent you can. We also suggest hand sanitizer be provided and that attendees bring their own. We are communicating that people who wish to wear masks should please do so. And that those who don't wish to wear masks respect the space of those who do. We are, as we have been through this whole pandemic, scrutinizing the advice and orders that are being disseminated, and we're reviewing carefully how it affects our convention process. I appreciate every one of our leaders for their partnership throughout this, and to every one of you who's participated. The preparations for the state convention are following the same close attention to local, state, and national guidelines and are being overseen with acute precision. Planning calls occur regularly, and the City of Houston teams at the Convention Center and Houston First and the Convention and Visitor Bureau have been on speed dial. Our partnership with local entities has been solid, and they have been working very closely with us in moving the convention date and preparing the convention space to accommodate CDC guidelines and that of local health officials. They continue to show they are doing all they can to see our convention through with us. We thank the SREC for reviewing our rules and making adjustments to make it possible to safely have a local convention and to have an electronic local convention if an in-person one can't be done. We have not seen that need to be implemented yet, but we appreciate that our rules and processes are in place should we need to. We are working very hard to provide our delegates with a convention experience to which they are accustomed and one that duly conducts the business of our party in person. So here's my plug. Take a moment to register now for the state convention. Go to texasgop.me/register and register. texasgop.me/register. I look forward to seeing you in your neck of the woods in downtown Houston during our state convention, July 16th to 18th. The Republican Party of Texas is firing on all cylinders. We are on the right track to victory in November, and we are on the right track to beating the Democrats, to protecting and holding our majorities in Texas, and to winning for President Trump and delivering Texas's 38 electoral college votes for his reelection. We are focused on winning in November and not risking any loss of momentum that risks victory. Email me at jrdickey@texasgop.org with questions, or call me or text me at 512-623-0276. Or right now, if you haven't already done so, text 10K to to 72,000 right now to sign up to help us register voters and celebrate victory with us on election night.
Thanks, Chairman.
Thank you.
If there's any questions, anybody has questions, you can unmute yourself and state your question. Or if either Linda or Shane has questions that they picked up from other people in their counties, we can ask those to the chairman at this time. Anybody have anything?
Chairman Dickey, this is Bob Simicek. I'm the, I guess the SD chair now for 17. We have secured a site, which I think will work very well for the COVID regulations and everything else. And we're excited that we're going to get the contract signed today.
That's fantastic. Well, I'm so excited about that. Do, by all means, as soon as you know the location and date and time and everything, let us know so we can help spread the word about it. But I am super glad to hear that. Thank you.
We'll get that to the RPT and also to the Harris County Party for posting on their website as well.
That's great.
Any other questions?
Wow, so everybody's good.
Not any questions and everything, but just to kind of let you know what a lot of us on the SD17 are also a part of a thing called the Conservative Texans for CD7 to get rid of Lion, Lizzie, Borden, Fletcher. And we think we're doing a good job. And what we've done is really gone grassroots by getting people really involved at the precinct level to go out in the community, talk to their neighbors and everything else. And we're getting a pretty good response on that. So
that is
fantastic.
I was talking to Wesley Hunt's team today. I am super excited about having him as our nominee. Very excited about making sure we retire her right away.
I think the word is fire her, not retire her.
Yes. Yeah. Better said. That is fantastic. Well, everybody, thank you so much. You guys, SC17 was the site of a great victory when we won that House District 28 special election in January. It was a perfect example of our plan working well, of all the work we've been doing for the last year, all the preparations we've done, our systems, our tools, our volunteers, our coordination. It was a perfect example. And so I am super proud of having you guys involved and can't wait to see you at convention in July. God bless you. You got my number, James Dickey, JRDICKEY at texasgop.org. You're welcome to email me. My number is 512-623-0276. You're welcome to send me a text or give me a call. Happy to answer any questions you have and cannot wait to see you guys either at your county or senatorial district conventions, or if not before, in Houston in July. God bless you guys, and God bless Texas.
Let me just see if Chairman Green or Chairman Howell wants to state anything about their Senate district conventions. I know that SD17 in Brazoria County will be meeting this weekend, and I'm assuming that their people have all been notified, but do you have any comments about that convention, Shane?
I think we're in a great position to do this. Mary Catherine is on the line. She's a temporary chair for SD17.
How many are you expecting? Do you have any idea how many delegates you're expecting?
We have 125 delegates.
Great.
So I think we'll probably have 100 is our estimate. And we found that, everything is closed here for this size of meeting. So we did find an old furniture store, and we're going to meet in that store.
That's fantastic. We've got some exciting news coming on that front in the next 24 or 48 hours. But you're doing the right thing. As long as you got plenty of capacity, that's great. That's fantastic. And Bear County had a convention with 125 people at it on last Saturday, and everything went great. So in spite of other people wishing it wouldn't, but we're leading the way and doing it right.
I'm expecting to see you down there, Shane. I'm planning to go down there and pop in. So I'm looking forward to seeing you. How about Linda? Do you want to give us any updates on the Fort Bend conventions? That'll be the following weekend, I think, right?
June 6th, and we have a great facility. We're anticipating, I'd say 100 people. So we're prepared and we're very excited. I'm so thrilled that Texas is opening up and this is the beginning of this process. And thank you.
That is fantastic.
Yes. And our win with Gary Gates in the House District 28 race was critical to whole Fort Bend County. So that's our job, to keep it red.
That's right. And I have no doubt, working together just like we did then, that is exactly what we're going to do.
Yes.
And so I'm super excited about that and for all of the progress we're going to make together.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I noticed Austin Arsenault on the line, who works for Joan Huffman's office. Do you have any comments from the Senator Huffman? Austin?
He's on mute.
I see that. Maybe he's not got anything to share. I also noticed that one of our candidates for the appeals court, Terry Adams, is on the line. I ought to let him at least say hello and give people a brief greeting. Are you there, Terry?
I am. I'm right here. Pleasure to be here, and I'm looking forward to the runoff coming up. Early voting, everyone knows, is June 29. So looking forward to everyone's support.
We got to get our candidates there. That'll be right as the state convention is starting. So we'll get people to get that runoff and then be involved in the state convention.
Absolutely.
Right.
Thank you for your efforts and good luck to you.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to being there.
That's right. Well, I'm excited the way it worked out. The runoffs will be done before the convention. The original plan was going to be that the early voting for the runoff was going to start the Monday after convention. So I'm kind of glad the way that worked out, that that'll be done. Make sure, if you have not already, go to texasgop.me/register and register for the convention. You don't have to wait till you know for sure you're a delegate. You can put down that you're a prospective delegate. We'll follow up later and confirm. You can go ahead and register now and lock in that great hotel room and get going. All right.
Just as a closing here, I'll just quickly give you a note that we're going to send out information for the Harris County Convention as soon as possible, certainly over the weekend. And our location is going to be at the Norris Conference Center in City Center, which is near I-10 and Sam Houston Parkway. So it's very accessible and it's a great facility with a parking garage that'll be easy to get in and out. And we'll send that information out and try to get a gauge on how many are attending. You should expect to see that coming in a few days. Bob Sumachek's working very hard on that and had a great effort to get that facility lined up.
That's awesome. Thank you all for taking time out of your busy day to be on the call with me. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to visit with you here. I cannot wait to see you guys in person.
Thanks so much, Chairman.
Great. Thank you, Chairman Dickey.
Thanks everybody for
Thank you.
joining.
Thank you.
Keep in touch.
Bye.